Welcome back to the watch. Snow White.
Is it Snow White? I thought it was like snow tanned or snow off-white.
Yeah.
Something like that.
More about, yeah.
Snow White. We're talking about Disney's Snow White remake and Rachel Zegler and the 7 people.
Well,
now they're
dwarves. They're totally dwarves. Trust us. They were always dwarves.
Yeah.
And the 7 magical creatures was just
That's a subplot that you'll
a
see in
strange
the movie.
read.
Daily Wire releasing a thing last week had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
I don't even know what we're talking about here. You know?
Oh my gosh, Disney is so full of it.
Yeah.
These companies are full of it. Like Rings of Power, I just remember the blatant lies the showrunners would feel. They even went on to say, our female dwarves will have beards. We even saw them add the beards bit, thing. Come the show, no female dwarves beards. Like the black and white, just bullcrap. And so this is all just like lies, and it's so obvious. And it just goes to show you, like, what are the morals of this company that's willing to just bull crap and gaslight people so blatantly like this? Because now they're saying there's 7 dwarves. Trust us.
Yeah.
They were always dwarves.
Yeah.
And
It's not like we have photo proof or anything.
yeah, and the magical people / New York baristas, they're going to be like bandits.
Right.
So,
yeah. Cool. We'll see about that. But Disney has released this image. They've also delayed the movie a year, which I think has nothing to do with how insufferable Miss Zegler is.
Well, they blamed it on the writer's strike.
Yeah, sure.
Even though when you think about it, the writer's strike probably happened after they finished filming.
So
'Cause it
writing
come
the
out in March.
script to
Yeah.
Snow White,
Yeah.
that 100-year-old film that they already made.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, right. Yep, that
The
makes
strike
sense.
stopped that all.
I got it now. Yep,
Yeah.
totally.
They're going to blame so much on the strikes. I wonder if it's like a money thing where if they delay it, maybe the backlash will be lesser. Because
Yeah.
it's in them.
A whole year. You're basically remaking the movie.
Is it to reshoot then?
I think so.
They got to do the dwarves.
Yeah. The
Fit
funny
them in
thing is,
somehow.
though, even though they're doing dwarves now, they're all CGI dwarves.
Yeah.
They still don't give actual dwarves
Yeah.
They're
real
like,
jobs.
are they CGI? They
Yeah.
look like they're wearing
they're CGI.
masks.
They're CGI.
They're
Because
CGI.
that looks horrible.
Yeah,
dude.
it's bad CGI. We didn't say it was good.
It is interesting because I think, like, remember Little Mermaid? I'm not a fan of Little Mermaid. That was a tough one for me to get through. That was
The remake.
That was a rough day for me.
The cartoon
But
is great.
the actress was never insufferable or anything. It wasn't her or anything. It was Disney.
It was the direction they were
Yeah.
pushing her into.
And the story was just dog crap.
Yeah,
and the
it
film
was Disney
bad.
taking the L, not the actress. Actress was great and everything. This is the opposite of that. This is
She is
kind of the opposite.
one of the most hard to like, and as we putting it very gently, actresses you've ever seen.
I remember the interview where she's like, the prince might just be written out entirely. He might just be edited out entirely. I'm like,
Calling the prince who saved Snow White's life a stalker, saying it's weird, and all that stuff, and that the princess is going to save herself, and there's just like this entitled attitude.
it's like, at what point is that Snow White then? Like, it's not even
I
Snow
know,
White. What
I know.
are we doing here?
Snow White is a classic damsel in distress story. Not as much as the Chad, Prince Philip from Sleeping Beauty. Gosh. Guy slays a dragon, Tyranth.
I don't think I've ever watched Sleeping Beauty.
That's actually one of the more boss action kind of.
Is it?
Yeah, like Maleficent turns into a friggin' dragon, and Philip gets a magic sword and shield, and he just turfs the sword into the heart of the dragon and takes it out.
Shield.
No, the sword.
Oh.
Yeah. And then, saves Sleeping Beauty with a true love's kiss. It's classic. It's great stuff. He's like the Chad Prince, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. They didn't they tried to remake it and they turned him into just this.
They did?
The film Maleficent.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I wasn't feeling that one.
They did him so dirty. He was, yeah.
Anyway, Snow White.
Back to Snow White. It was a classic damsel in distress story. Not as much as Sleeping Beauty. There's a true love's kiss, but it's kind of, look, I do have to admit, the original animation, the way the witch dies is kind of lame. Do you remember how the witch dies?
I've never seen it.
Oh, what?
I haven't seen any Disney princess movies growing
I was
up.
about to say, you didn't see Little Mermaid either.
No,
I thought
because
you had sisters.
who were like 9 years older than me. And as a boy, I was like, I'm not watching princesses. I'm watching trucks and cars and robots fight each other and toys talking.
Okay.
You can do both, man.
You can.
And lions, killing their brothers and stuff. I don't know. Princesses, I was just like,
Okay. I think you boys can enjoy the classic princess fairy tales because of
Yes.
the princes. You identify with the Beast and Prince Philip
And Shrek.
and
Yes.
Prince Eric
I'm just
And
saying.
Shrek.
and Shrek.
When you go to the video store growing up and you see a VHS for Transformers versus a princess, which one is the boy going to go towards? The robots.
You should just already have them.
Okay, Tyranth, do you remember how the witch dies in Sleeping Beauty?
I'm going to be honest with you, Chad. It's been a minute since I watched it. So,
Okay.
no.
Okay. I many people probably don't remember this either, right? The witch, from memory, look, it's been a while, but I think I can remember this accurately, right? The witch gives Sleeping Beauty the apple.
Yeah.
She bites it, falls under.
Yeah.
I think animals let the dwarves know that the witch, she's the witch did it, right? And so the dwarves start chasing the witch, and the witch is like, holy crap, the dwarves are after me. And so the witch starts to run away from the dwarves, even though she's a witch and you think she could take some dwarves, but she doesn't, right? And so as she's running away, storm comes in, she's running up a hill, and the dwarves are chasing her. She turns around, sees the dwarves, slips, loses her footing, and falls off a cliff. No one actually kind of kills the witch. She just slips and dies because of her own incompetence.
Well,
Do you remember this? Do you remember? No one remembers this? Yeah.
well, as someone who's slipped over on the Shadlands a lot, I get it. I get that. It can get you.
Yeah, well, maybe that's more realistic,
It's
isn't
more
it?
realistic.
I also think because that was probably Disney's first movie, they were they didn't want to shoot too much violence for children. They didn't know what the line was. Right? I think later in the track, they're like, yeah, we'll kill some people. We'll get some swords and
Get a
shields.
sword,
Dragons. Yeah.
stab a dragon through the
The
heart.
first one, Disney was like, can we kill her? I don't know. We'll make her fall off a cliff. That's okay.
So, if I was to remake Snow White, I'd tweak the ending to just improve it a bit.
Get Grumpy to, javelin throw something at her.
Let
or-
Prince Charming chop off her head with a halberd or something and then put it on a pike.
Are you listening, Daily Wire?
Yeah,
Well, I'm guessing that one's going to be a lot darker because they're going for the original story, not the Disney reimagining.
I don't even know the original story. Is it what, the Hans Christian Andersen or the Brothers
Fairy tale.
Grimm
Yeah.
fairy tale?
Those ones are grim.
Yeah. Okay, so the dwarves look horrible. Disney's trying to do damage control. They're probably going to have to do makeup, filming and stuff. I bet the budget on this is already
Crazy.
Too blown out.
exactly. And then they just have to spend more money.
Yep.
And it's not going to do well.
And she's going to keep doing interviews.
So there's the line that Zegler made about, if I have to spend so many hours in a princess dress, I deserve to be paid for every minute or whatever that it's streamed.
In principle, I don't disagree with this
I
statement.
disagree. I think it's
depends.
entitled as hell.
It depends how you negotiate royalties.
Yeah.
But the way she says it and the way how it's like a given,
And she deserves it. It's
that's where it's
right.
like,
But see, I think even just the negotiation is that's insane to try and take that because, what if they got no new subscribers, right, for the week, and your property isn't bringing in any money then and stuff? You don't deserve
I'm
it.
not saying for her, a relatively unknown, blah, blah, blah. But when like Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man stuff do it like that, it's usually a royalty split type
She's
deal.
probably getting paid buckets of money.
Yes.
Yes, to wear a Disney
Yes.
princess dress for a few hours in a
Yes,
day.
you are being
like,
paid for that, yes.
holy crap, you're not going to the coal mines, woman. But she's acting like it's so hard and she deserves all this thing. That's the entitlement that really
Yes.
just
it's
oozes.
very much the cadence and tone
Yeah.
of a lot
And
of
she's
the
already probably
interviews.
getting paid insane amounts compared to the regular people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what does she think about the actors at the parks who have to wear those dresses all friggin' day?
Yeah.
Do they deserve the same payment? No, she wouldn't say that. She just thinks she does because she thinks she's hot stuff. She's better than, other people who have to work just as hard. It annoys me. And so then she's even seems to be tanking the other movie she's in, the Hunger Games prequel.
I don't care about Hunger Games. I'm not even interested. It's not a franchise that I watched maybe one of them, and I did not care for it.
I know one that you'd probably enjoy. I wonder if you've heard of it. Battle Royale. It's an anime.
No.
It's basically Hunger Games, but school students are thrown into an island where they have to kill themselves. And I haven't even watched it, but I'm interested because it's supposed to be brutal as hell.
Yeah. The Hunger Games one was just disappointing.
It was
The action was very disappointing.
The books
it's
were
a
better.
YA. It was a female-focused YA love drama thing, and so the action was just there as a set dress. It was more about the love story, and so yeah. I can see why you're not into Hunger Games. My wife wants to see the prequel.
You just can go.
The
you just
prequels
can
look
review
more
it.
interesting because it's about like the original guy the original prime minister, basically, and like his origin story.
I'd almost agree with you, except it has Zegler in
Is
it,
it?
and that just turns me off.
It's funny because she was in Shazam. She didn't say anything.
She was
and we're
great
okay.
in Shazam.
And now that she's gone Snow White and now Hunger Games, when she comes out and says stuff, everyone's like, "Oh, I don't know, I want to watch the movie anymore." Because she's got bad PR like skills. It's just
She's awful, and like she was doing a Hunger Games interview where she basically said something along the lines of, whoever wrote the Hunger Games was basically the first person to write a female who opposed, I don't know, authority and structure and stuff like that. And it's like, there are heaps of, previous female action heroes that did, like, look at Princess Leia. She opposed the Empire and all this stuff, or Ripley. And it just really gave off the vibes of, who was that other actress that basically said she was the first action hero? I'm paraphrasing.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes.
Hunger Games.
Her. There's a pattern with that, isn't there?
there is, isn't there?
I do think she should be a bit more. I feel like her agent should.
Just tell her to shut up.
Yeah.
Keep you.
And I know that sounds harsh, right? But keep in mind, when people start to not like you, then all of a sudden, like, I know we're a bit apples and oranges here, but like Ezra Miller, like he obviously did some crazy stuff. That's why people despise him. But
He did make it worse every time he opened his mouth.
exactly. And I'm not saying she's on his level, no way. But she is very Brie Larson, like,
Yes. Yeah, it does not help the brand at all.
if you're just more fun and likable, people will be
Yes.
like, "Oh yeah, that's great. I don't have anything against this." But when you come out and actively
Yeah.
try and be
Entitled.
antagonistic for no
Yes,
reason, people kind of go,
antagonistic.
"All right, well now I don't want to see it."
Think about the actress for Faye Valentine in Cowboy Bebop.
Perfect example.
Perfect example. It just turns you off and you just
It's
check
not
out.
needed. I feel like that's the
Yeah.
best way to You don't
And-
need to do this.
There are actors and actresses, even when they're in bad films, because they're nice, likable people, like one makes the even bad films more enjoyable. Chris Pratt, what was that, 11 Hours or something? What was that horrible sci-fi movie where he goes back in time? The Tomorrow War. Was it The Tomorrow War? I think it was The Tomorrow War.
That wasn't Chris Pratt though. That was
Chris,
it was
not Pratt, Chris Hemsworth. Wasn't it Hemsworth? No, it's not Hemsworth. Damn it.
Chris Pine?
no,
Pine.
it's not Chris. The Tomorrow War.
Oh,
one.
it's not
Cruise?
Chris at all.
that
Crap.
was Mission Impossible. What's his
Tom
face?
Cruise.
No.
Tom Cruise. Yeah,
That was Tom
Tom
Cruise.
Cruise isn't.
Okay, that's tomorrow. I'm thinking of the wrong film. It's a really bad film with dang it, he was in Parks and Recreation and he's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
That is Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Okay, yeah, it is Chris Pratt.
What movie are you talking about?
He's not in that.
There's no time.
It's we reviewed it. It's a really bad film. He goes back in time to fight in a war that's in the past or the future.
Yeah, that's Tom Cruise.
No.
We reviewed that movie.
Type it in.
All right, we need to look this up. This is important.
I have no idea. Oh, I wasn't in that review. That's why I don't know it. That was with Oz.
Why were you saying? So I was right. It's the Tomorrow War. Why were you saying it was like?
Because there's another one with
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
How
where
he goes back in
time.
time.
Yeah, but
to
that's
fight a
not
war.
the Tomorrow War. What was that called?
I've literally
They
never,
rebranded it, and it was like the day after.
Not that. It's not the day after.
No, that's different.
I've literally never heard of this movie.
It was a
It
Prime
was-
movie. It was really bad.
Okay.
So bad.
Okay, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Okay, but that was very forgettable. That was.
Okay, so we were both correct. We're all kind of correct on this one.
I think I was right from the beginning.
No.
Chris Pratt, Tomorrow War. Wasn't that right?
Tom Cruise goes back in time to fight some aliens.
It's a movie that was actually pretty good.
That was a good movie for Tom Cruise. So yeah, actors, even in bad movies, if they're nice, we give them a pass. But if a bad actor that we really dislike is even in a good film, that can ruin it. Even
It really
Edge
does.
of Tomorrow was the yeah. See, it's so
tomorrow
close.
in the Tomorrow War, Edge of Tomorrow.
Movies, be more creative, please.
It's Hollywood. So Snow White would have been fun to review if it came out this year. Got to wait a whole year. Not like that's the only kind of like, oh, now it's just going to have to wait because it's going to be a dumpster fire. If it miraculously happens to be good, we'll acknowledge it if it's actually good. Doesn't look like it will be. And it's going to be fun to roast it as a result. And that's the only
delay. We're going to
delay.
have to do 2 Snow Whites.
2, yeah.
When
What,
the
Daily
Daily
Wire?
Wire comes
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Ugh. Man,
I mean, Daily Wire probably loves that got delayed. That gives them more production time to
it does.
sort out their one.
Yeah.
There we go. What are your guys' thoughts about Snow White, Rachel Zegler, the delay, the dwarves, everything? Man, the dwarves look bad.
The state of the world, Hollywood,
Oh my gosh.
the weather.
The
Let us know. Let us know down below in the comments.
And as always, stay on watch.